This is Filling in the Box with Joey.
And Eric.
And Josh.
Filling in the Box is going to be a series of after shows for QED, our main show, where we talk about a scenario. And I'm doing the Captain Kirk thing.
Why are you doing that?
Because my thoughts
You really are.
aren't collected.
You really are William Shatner.
I am
I knew it.
James Tiberius Kirk.
James Tiberius Kirk.
I have never understood how he managed to do this, but now it makes complete sense. That's just the way that one's thoughts tend to flow when one knows that one's being recorded and didn't expect to be.
But that happened every time.
I know.
He didn't know what was going on. They just kept surprising him. That's how they got his best acting moments.
He's just constantly surprised. That's what makes him such a good actor.
Genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a way, it's method acting.
It is. I mean, that's
If you're
the best.
constantly surprised, it doesn't seem like you know what the script is, and you don't know there's about to be an explosion, because you don't know what you're supposed to say next for your lines.
You're like, oh crap, there was actually an explosion.
My name's Captain James Tiberius Kirk.
This I think is definitive proof that William Shatner is common people.
William Shatner is
Oh
common
my
people.
I knew it. All right.
Okay. Okay. So we're cutting that middle bit, right?
No.
What?
Nope. It's
don't know.
perfect because QED is going to be edited, and this is really just kind of a free flowing thought process.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that it's entirely fine for you to not edit this just because I did a bad opening and then we made fun of James Tiberius Kirk. And yes, I do want you to leave that voice crack in there if you're not going to edit this.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'll just own it. I'll just own the voice crack.
Well,
like that.
If we keep talking about it, and it's okay. Here's what we'll do. If it's particularly egregious, we will edit it out.
Are you saying that wasn't particularly egregious? Because I think it was.
I mean,
I paused for half a second after every 2 to 5 words.
Oh, come on. That intro was great. People will love it. They'll be like, holy crap, this guy is the next coming of William Shatner. Even though
I'm not okay with that. William Shatner's still alive.
Well, I mean, okay, you can be the second William Shatner. Like, you could be a William Shatner tribute artist.
I'm not okay with that.
Why aren't you okay with that? Come on. Be fun.
It's unprofessional.
That could be our act for Georgia.
Unprofessional?
Yes. Unprofessional William Shatner impersonator.
Oh.
Wait. You realize that this is going before the first episode of Filling in the Box, right?
So
they don't know
just-
what Georgia is.
No, but
No,
I did say...
I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
See, this episode is going before the first episode of Filling in the Box,
Okay.
but after the first episode of QED. They're going up
Is
at the
it?
same time.
Oh.
All
Okay.
3 of them are going up at the same time.
Okay, that makes
Because
more sense.
otherwise,
Okay.
none of this makes any sense.
Okay.
Because this isn't going towards any episode of QED.
You're right. It's just kind of there, isn't it?
It exists
Yeah.
literally to explain that we are making
Okay.
a show where we
Here-
just say stuff
Here's an
about our
idea.
feelings.
Here's an idea. We can release this on the same day as the first episode of QED.
This could be our channel trailer.
No, this is not our channel trailer. You are a sandwich, sir, for recommending that. You're a the for recommending that.
I can't be offended because that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
That's why we use it. ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. The is a very good derogatory term because it has no derogatory value whatsoever.
Neither does it
Which
have
means that the only connotations one can take from it are from the tone of voice in which it is delivered.
You, sir, are a the. Josh, quit being a the.
I'm trying really hard. I hope you know that.
I know, Josh.
It's
Josh.
I know. We commend you for your
Josh.
effort.
We understand that you're very trying, but at the same time, you've got to keep it contained.
You gotta keep the animal inside, man. You're scaring us.
I'm scaring myself.
You probably are.
Okay. I mean, did we get the point across?
I think we got the point across. This is going to be the sort of thing that you get. You get an opening that sounds like it's from the original Star Trek series, but with slightly less epic music. And then we talk about something for a ridiculously drawn-out amount of time, or what seems like it, until you try to compare it to QED. And then we just kind of trail off at the end. And then I say, this has been the first episode of Filling in the Box with Joey.
This has actually been the pilot episode.
This is the 0th episode. This is the pilot episode
Yes.
of Filling in the Box
yes.
with Joey.
And Eric.
And Josh.
Thanks for listening.
Now, if you allow me to get this on record,
Okay.
that sounds really depressing. Like, really, really depressing. I know it's an awful situation.
So is that a false ending?
I don't know. It's a good question.
We could make it a false ending.
I think that would work. I mean, it is a false ending. Because
I guess I suppose whoever asked the question should start and end it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess this is your brand of ending.
yeah, I mean,
I think it makes sense as an ending, though.
Yeah.
I feel like rather than wrap it up neatly in a ball so that people don't have to think about it emotionally, I think, make is a strong word, but basically making people confront it and say, wow.
Wow, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
It really,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it really makes you think.
If you just say, well, that's the end of this episode, thanks for listening, that kind of makes people think about what you were talking about.
Well, yeah, and what would they do in the situation?
Yeah, and by ending it with the question again, and then thanks for listening.
Mostly what I was just wondering.
And could we say at the end of it, like, something like, hey, if you like this, please remember to like, favorite, and subscribe, or something like that? Or is that too...
That's too YouTubery.
That's YouTube too.
We could maybe add that in, like,
podcasters don't do that. Or at least the podcasters that I've listened to don't really do that.
I mean, but those people are specifically, like, they have an RSS feed with, like...
Well, I mean, we will have an RSS feed, will we not, Josh?
Yeah.
Well,
You
Josh,
had most of the infrastructure set up or designed.
Okay.
We had the infrastructure
for
last
this.
time.
So...
But the one thing I wanted to address was, would we want to have a TLDR at the end, essentially, or too long didn't watch, I suppose, TLDW?
Why?
Something that just sort of recapped what we eventually decided that we were going to do, which was...
I think people ought to listen to the whole process rather than just,
Because the whole reason we decided to make this into a podcast was because the process was the part that was entertaining.
It's true.
Like, nobody...
I mean,
I guess what we could have said was, we decided to move to Georgia and start Hollywood over.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Which really doesn't
That
fit well
doesn't
with
make
the-
any sense at all.
That's why it's brilliant.
But if they listen to the process, they'll know where the jump happened to something that was no longer about here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They'll know how we got to Georgia in the first place,
Yes.
which is with my car.
Yes.
And
They'll know why we needed to move in the first place, because we live in the Midwest.
And it was actually a really interesting process too, because we started out with the essentials. We started out talking about, well, are we going to have enough food? And then eventually we got, we're gonna get to the Mississippi. We're gonna refuel, and we're gonna get back to Georgia, or get to Georgia, I guess, not get back, because we're not in
down
Georgia.
to Georgia.
And then
I kind of want to leave this, but not for like the episode, but like as a
You want a post commentary?
yeah, post commentary.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
That we could cut off
I'd
after my ending, and then
Yeah.
we could have the continued conversation afterward.
Yeah, I
And
think it'd be a good. I think it'd be a good second.
Here's the question though. What do we call it? What do we call the post commentary? Because we might do one of these for every episode.
We might have to.
I'm thinking that we could call it either post QED, which doesn't actually make a lot of sense, or we could call it on QED.
that could work. The other suggestion I might have, just because QED is what you use to finish a proof.
Mm-hmm.
The other way you use to finish a proof is you draw a little box and you fill it in, and we could call it filling in the box.
Filling in the box.
Most people probably wouldn't know what it means, but it does.
But
sound
they will
cool.
if they listen to Filling in the Box episode 1.
Or filling
true.
in the QED.
No, Filling in the Box episode 1.
Right.
And I'm thinking, like, maybe we don't even give it the subtitle of On Mount St. Helens, because then that gives away what the question is.
Yeah.
And I think that we shouldn't give away the question at all.
Yeah, I think it'll.
They should be just as surprised by the question as you two were.
Yes.
So then, do we give them interesting nondescript titles, or do we just give them numbers?
I think we just give them numbers.
Yeah, QED 1.
Yeah.
Or maybe QED 001 to be very pretentious.
Eh. Either way could work.
QED 000. Well, Josh,
I think we should stick to the positive integers and start with 1.
QED 1.
Yeah, just
Okay,
QED 1.
that makes sense.
Well, it shouldn't be too hard.
All right.
Listening to this back is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, should I make you edit in an intro to Filling in the Box? Should I record it right now and just say it now and have you move that to the beginning of Filling in the Box?
We've got our intro for QED, and for
We
filling
have our
in,
outro for QED.
and we have the outro, and now we have our filling in the box. Do you think it needs an intro?
I mean,
If I may,
yeah.
I think it actually probably fits better if it just starts off where we stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because-
that's what I'm thinking. Like, this will be like after, like, this
All right.
is
So
right
should
after.
we record after this? Should we record an episode 0 to Filling in the Box to explain what the series is about? Because otherwise, the first episode of a new series, which is what it'll look like, won't have an opening.
Excellent question.
That is an excellent question.
I think we might want to record an episode 0.
Okay. Well, then, should we stop this recording? Or should...
Well, I mean, I was going to end this recording with an outro for Filling in the Box.
Well, then end it.
All right.
Fill in the box, Joey.
Thanks so much for listening to this first episode of Filling in the Box on Mount St. Helens. We're really grateful that you were able to stay and hear our afterthoughts on how this went, how this experiment is going, and what we're going to do next. Thanks for listening.
I don't feel like going in a corner and crying.